Ah, it's a good day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. I wake up. I wake up to the wondrous news of Shanks and Kobe being added to Pirate Warriors 4. Sorry about that. I had a wonderful morning this morning. Not only did I wake up to the news of Shanks and Kobe being shown off for Pirate Warriors 4, but we also get the release date for the next pack, which is January 11th, which is not far. It is not far at all. Not only that, but we got gameplay of both Shanks and Kobe. And yeah, Shanks looks so much more fun than his base version. So, needless to say, not only am I going to be busy in January with more Pirate Warriors for a lot of you Pirate Warriors fans and One Piece fans, but I'm also going to be busy in January because since I pre-ordered and bought the deluxe edition of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, I'm going to be playing that pretty much in January as well. So that whole month is just going to be straight fun for me, and I can't wait for it. But we'll talk about that another time, because today we got more Fire Force. So, CDs, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you as well. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today, we are going to be checking out volume 15 of the series, titled, pardon me, I wanted to swallow, but I couldn't speak, and it just threw me off. Volume 15 of the series, titled Into the Shadows. Halster, it's good to see you as well. Let's begin! Summary. During Operation Chinese Landing, our heroes investigated the tabernacle in the center of the oasis and discovered that it contained a human being with an Adola burst. Yo, CDs, always good to see you. They believe that there is another human being inside the Tokyo Empire's identical power source, Amaterasu, but this contradicts the scriptures taught by the Holy Soul Temple. Suspicious of the connection between the Holy Soul Temple and the Evangelists, Shinra and company begin their search for the truth. Joker's on the cover, let's go. Yeah, I love the cover art for all of these volumes. That's one of your favorite characters? All right, let's go. So we have chapters 124 all the way through 132. Hey, my Roman numerals is getting better. I get to tell. I'm able to tell faster. So yeah, chapters 124 all the way down to 132. Let's begin! And we're at Haijima Industries' main offices. And we have someone clacking away on their keyboard, and it is Licht, and he has a colleague. I read your thesis on spontaneous human combustion, Licht-kun. It was brilliant. How did you come up with your theories? It was nothing. I'm just always looking for the answer. Chapter 124, Anti-Hero. Because if you remember from the last chapter we dropped off, we stopped at, we had Joker going to Asakusa and talking to Benimaru. So, yeah, we got that. But now we have Licht walking through the streets at nighttime going, what is right and what is wrong? I just want to know the answer. I can't settle for some vague concept revealed to us by a god. Only the real answer can surpass God. It is the only truth. I have to know. What is causing spontaneous human combustion? What is happening to our world? The answer is the one and only thing in this world I can trust. And then we have Joker, who just speaks to Licht out of the shadows. Is that your brand of justice, Victor Licht? You again? Justice is such a vague concept. I don't need it. I'm looking for the answer. A hero needs justice. I feel like I gotta contort my lips whenever I'm speaking as Joker. I kind of have to draw out my voice just a little bit, you know? I feel like I gotta do that for him. A hero needs justice. Special Fire Guard House 7. And we have Benimaru, picking up where we left off.
Pay our respects to the Holy Soul Temple. That does sound fun, but why me? As a proto-nationalist, you must have endured your share of unfair oppression from the temple. Surely you hadn't forgotten. Or have you been reduced to imperial dogs now that they've made you part of the Special Fire Force?
And then Benimaru just glares back at Joker. Then, Special Fire Cathedral 8. And it's Shinra.
We can't go public with that?
And then Licht is going, well, what did you expect? And then Obi. Find him less creepy than Hisoka? Nah, Hisoka is another level of creepy. The way he was so into Gon was unsettling. Hisoka was weird. Very weird. But Captain Obi. The facts unearthed on that mission could throw the Empire's citizens into a panic. I was told that if we want to make our findings public, there are procedures that need to be followed.
But panic? But
I don't like it either, but the top brass has made their decision. We're gonna have to wait 3 years while they do an internal investigation of the church and reveal the truth in a way that won't lead to chaos.
that's no reason to... 3 years?
Bruh, don't look. I don't want to think about Hisoka anymore, because your bro was like, how old was Gon? Wasn't he like 12, 13 years old? 12, 13 years old, and Hisoka was all like, I can't wait to fight him. And it was like that, and since it was Keith Silverstein's voice, it just made it all the more unsettling. But going back,
3 years?
and then Licht's thinking to himself while this whole conversation is going on. It's not unusual for an organization to protect their standing by hiding the truth. The Empire's lapdog fire soldiers can't do a thing. This is a job for someone who's not chained down. Time to call in the strays. And then we have Conro looking for Benimaru.
Waka! Waka! Hey, have you seen Waka?
Huh? You're looking for him too, Lieutenant Conro? We can't find him either. 12 and Hisoka was like late 30s. Oh no.
For crying out loud, what is he playing at? It's the middle of the night. Well, he'll get hungry and come back in time for breakfast. If you do see Waka, let me know.
Yes, sir! And as Conro is walking through the guardhouse, he's just thinking,
darn it, Benny. I thought you'd been awfully quiet. You better not be causing any trouble.
And then it shows Benimaru and Joker overlooking this big building with a ton of lights just emanating from it. With Benimaru going,
is that the place? As you can see, there's a lot of wide open space and heavy security. We're not exactly going to be able to sneak in.
I gotta read that again.
As you can see, there's a lot of wide open space and heavy security. We're not exactly going to be able to sneak in. So what do you say we charge right through the front gate? Simple. I like it. I'm still surprised you actually decided to tag along with a suspicious character like me. You're a pretty weird guy. Oh? I came because you're so suspicious. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, so if you try anything funny, I can just take you out. Don't push me, we're pretty high up. I'm not gonna push you yet. You're wanted by the Empire, aren't you? So why would you risk getting caught by storming the Curia? For my own brand of justice. What's happening to our country? What's happening to the world? I want to know the truth. I don't give a darn about integrity or ethics or morals or virtue. I'll do anything to get closer to that truth. I was born here and spent my existence here. I have a right to know the truth about the Empire. Truth is the one brand of justice that is equal for all.
And I like Joker. I like him.
So, what's in there? The true scriptures. The ones the Holy Soul Temple have been hiding from us. Never heard of them. How do you know about them? I happen to know a thing or two about the church. Now, let's go down there and get this party started. We're going down? Then why did we climb up here? Because looking down on things from up high is what a hero does.
Curia of the Holy Soul Temple. Now, for any of you who have played Bayonetta, and you went to Baldur's giant skyscraper, and the appearance of it, the Curia of the Holy Soul Temple looks pretty much similar to that. Then we have Raffles III.
Our Lord who shineth in the heavens, grant us thy light of blessing. Latom.
Here, your holiness.
No need. Tell me, do you know why I devote myself so completely to the great sun god?
Of course, your grace.
In the distant past,
Pardon me.
In the distant past, our world was a place where many religions thrived. People built their lives on the discipline and order created through united belief in their gods. In more recent times, the birth of science allowed humankind to progress more abundantly, more efficiently. Before the Great Cataclysm, there were myriad religions and governments all over that wide world. But they all perished. The Holy Soul Temple unites all of those humans' histories, all the world's various religions, governments, and sciences have come together around the great sun god Amaterasu. The Holy Soul Temple is mankind's last light, its truth. Those who turn their backs on the faith do not belong in this world. Do the citizens of Asakusa still reject the blessings of Amaterasu?
The Cardinals. What's going on? Take your time. You have a white one, but the way Joker does. It's a for a second I thought you typed that you wanted to be the hat Joker wears, but yeah, he's got a nice bowler hat. I used to have a fedora, but then I started to see what types of people tend to wear a whole bunch of fedoras, and then I stopped wearing them. So I just go beanies from now on.
Do the citizens of Asakusa still reject the blessings of Amaterasu?
The Cardinals have warned us to avoid any actions that might provoke Benimaru Shinmon.
Benimaru Shinmon. The people of Asakusa revere a man who breeds nothing but destruction.
Oh no, it's not that I had to take my catch my breath. I just had like a burp coming on, and I wanted to get it out of my system so it wouldn't interfere.
Benimaru Shinmon. The people of Asakusa revere a man who breeds nothing but destruction. They are heretics who have rejected the temple's teachings that trace the path to rebirth. Instead, those people worship Shinmon, the destroyer god.
And then there's an explosion that can be heard from inside the temple. What was that noise? It sounded close. And then a lot of these individuals who are tending to Raffles, the Emperor, they all have the same haircut. They all have like a Mo from Three Stooges haircut, but they're bald on the top. They look like friars, except they don't have the friar cloak on. What was that noise? It sounded close. Out at the front gate! Benimaru Shinmon's here! We're under attack! No, Your Grace, we haven't done anything to him yet. What is Benimaru Shinmon doing here?
I am not Benimaru Shinmon. I am Shinmon Benimaru.
And then we have Joker.
I can't believe you really did it. Yeah, forget the Holy Soul Temple. It's a good feeling, right? Or, yeah, screw the Holy Soul Temple. It's a good feeling, right?
They actually put a different word here, but y'all know me, I can't say it.
It's a good feeling, right? You're the one who told me to. You would actually bust disciples' heads in God's own house. I really gotta wonder about how you define justice. Justice? It's nothing as great as all that. All I want is to make sure the people around me can enjoy living. I don't know if it's because I'm a proto-nationalist or what, but I just don't like this Holy Soul Temple business. And the energy that Amaterasu blesses us with, something about it reeks of blood. You've sure got good instincts, huh?
And this is Joker thinking to himself. Hold on, I gotta face the camera more. Stop that man! And as those friars that all look identical to one another, it's like Captain Hibana's Fifth Angel 3, but they're all friars, and there's many more of them. But while they try to run up on Benimaru, he just blasts them away.
The Holy Soul Temple is so proud of its divine flame and the power of science. It tells the whole world that people are so wonderful. But before we're part of the human race or gods or whatever, people are just animals. Having you around is great. It really takes the stress out of these things. They might not look it, but these guys are the best of the best. You can claim your empire is blessed by God, but all it takes is one wild animal breaking loose, and it all falls down. I'm just here to help them understand that.
You barbarians are not fit to set foot upon this sacred ground. And then all of a sudden, Benimaru, a signal goes through Benimaru's head, and he falls over. Die. And we see another one of these friar-looking dudes, except he's much taller and a lot more buff.
Mr. Toughest? What a loser.
But Benimaru's not down, as this big friar just goes, I have no prayer to offer you. And that is the end of chapter 124. Onwards to chapter 125, Shadows Cast by Divine Light. And then we got the big friar, we're going to call him Big Friar, in front of Benimaru, who's still collapsed on the ground.
Come on, Mr. Toughest. You let him beat you way too easily. What do you think I brought you here for?
He was carried away by his pride, thinking himself the toughest soldier on the force. But this is all the dumb animal will ever amount to.
What did you do?
What kind of idiot would I have to be to tell you? But then we start to see smoke and fire rise off of Benimaru.
Darn it. You slipped me something.
Impossible! That poison was strong enough to kill a large animal on the spot! And then, before this big friar can say anything, Benimaru hits him directly in his midsection or in his junk, because he's holding his midsection or his junk and he's just falling over. Snot and saliva coming out of his nose and mouth, and his eyes are just rolled up in his head. Yeah, I think Benimaru hit him in the family jewels. The big friar dude really does say that. And then something falls out of his pocket as he falls unconscious. And Joker picks it up.
The blowgun? So this is how he poisoned you. How are you okay? I don't know. If the stuff doesn't work, it doesn't work. You are the toughest. Shut up. Let's go.
Don't let him near the church! Infidel! Surely you know that what awaits you for this transgression?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Destroyer God's gone crazy! And then Benimaru just completely wipes the floor with everyone in front of him. Kind of like how Shanks was wiping the floor with everyone in front of him in the little preview video of when the DLC drops next month. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, go to the Pirate Warriors section of the Discord and you will see the gameplay of both Shanks and Kobe, and you'll understand why I made that reference.
God, give me a break. I'm just a rambunctious little brat.
And then as that's happening, Joker apparently is singing a song.
Pitter patter, listen to them fall. Pitter patter, followers of soul. Punching, didn't bring a gun. Beating up disciples, this is so much fun.
Ooh, bars! I like that! And both Joker and Benimaru just burst through the front doors of the Curia. And they're standing in there, and it seems like it's empty.
This place is deserted. They're in the Nether. The Nether? But I thought the Nether was off limits to the Holy Soul Temple. They banned it because they don't want people to see it. The reality is, they love the Nether. There's nothing here.
It's under this. As Joker goes over to the very same table that Raffles the Third was standing in front of and kicks it, and there's actually a whole staircase that leads down. And as Joker goes down, he goes,
Hey, what's wrong? Let's go. How do you know about all this? Because for all my talk, I love the dark too.
and then he goes downstairs as Benimaru follows him. And then we are in a whole nother section. It's just completely underneath the temple.
It's time for some answers. Who the heck are you? I've been willing to play along with you so far, but depending on your answer, I might have to take you out. I'm not a big fan of backstory. I mean, does it really matter?
And then Benimaru grabs him by the throat and pushes him up against the wall.
It's not a threat.
And then Joker just looks at him and then slaps Benimaru's hand away.
I used to be a part of it, okay? A member of the church. It's not really a surprise, is it? Wait, you mean... More questions? I didn't think the destroyer of Asakusa was so interested in other people.
And then it shows what Benimaru thinks Joker looked like as a former member of the church, including him still having that same look, but he had that friar bowl cut. That friar bowl cut that was over the top.
You used to have hair like that? No, I had a more behind-the-scenes role. Behind the scenes? You'll see what I mean soon enough. Let's find those scriptures before anybody tries to stop us.
And they keep traveling deeper and deeper into the nether, and they come across another room.
What is all this doing in the nether?
And it's a very big room, almost like a place you would go to if you were looking for a generator or such.
What is all this doing in the nether? It's a facility they built from the ruins of the old nether. What are they plotting that they have to build it down here? Come on, Mr. Proto-Nationalist. Don't tell me you're afraid of the nether.
And then they keep going, but it keeps getting darker and darker. And actually, oh no. It's not that they keep getting darker and darker. Someone turns the lights out.
The lights went out. Be careful. These guys are nothing like the ones you've been fighting so far.
And we see the footsteps of people making their way through the dark. And then Joker puts a cigarette in his mouth and goes,
Here they come.
And he lights it, but he makes it so that the light is so bright he can see everything in front of him.
The Holy Soul's shadows.
And then we see a face come out of the darkness. And it's these individuals who are completely clad in what looks to be like Harley Quinn armor. And matter of fact, they are basically the abductors. They look like walking versions of the abductors from Elden Ring. You know, those big giant automatons that have the blades for arms, and if you're not careful, they'll grab you into like their little Iron Maiden pockets. Yeah, it's like that. Kind of similar to like that.
My old family.
And that is the end of chapter 125. Onwards to chapter 126, In the Sun's Shadow. They look stupid? I know they do. They have like this little Harley Quinn headpiece, and then they have like the little pauldrons with the tassels. They look like jester costumes. That's exactly what they look like. Jester costumes, but more serious, but still silly all the same. Forgot what they look like? Yeah, they pretty much look like that. I would show you, but I'm not about to put myself in the crosshairs for copyright because I wanted to show the page or anything like that. I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking with that mandate. And they also have their hands in the position of the, like Latom, but it's upside down as they're standing there in front of Joker and Benimaru.
You were a part of this gang? The Holy Soul's Shadow. The Holy Soul Temple's secret death squad. They're a musty old bunch.
You carnal creatures are not fit to tread upon this sacred ground.
That's not very nice. This is supposed to be a homecoming for me.
What?
Do you recognize the name 52? Impossible. You're...
And then we're getting a flashback. We are children of the sun. We dedicate ourselves to life in the shadows. Oh no, I'm reading along. Just forgot they look that stupid. Yeah, I forgot they look like that too. It's been that long since I've seen the anime. We are children of the sun. We dedicate ourselves to life in the shadows. Latom. And then we have an individual who looks eerily like Joker at a young age, and it's basically just child grooming to be soldiers as they're being taught to fight with knives and everything.
I give up.
That's enough. Stand down, 5-2. Not 52, 5-2. That's enough. Stand down, 5-2. I know I said,
do you recognize the name 5-2?
I said 52, but it's 5-2. That's enough. Stand down, 5-2.
He's tough.
But he's just a kid.
I'm impressed, 5-2.
It's no big deal.
Why don't you fight me next? Don't hold back on my account. Come on.
Squad leader, 5-2 isn't ready to fight you yet.
What's wrong, 5-2? Hit me. And then when that happens, I guess a young Joker tries to fight his squad leader, but his squad leader keeps beating on him over and over. There is nothing special about you. We are all orphans of the sun. We were all adopted by God. So when I see a child like you, a kid who thinks he's special, I just can't let it go. And he's just beating up on Joker the same way Omni-Man was beating up on Mark. Don't get any funny ideas, kid.
That's enough.
Know your place. You are scum. You are scum! Scum! You got that? An unsalvageable piece of trash, rejected by the worthless loins it dropped from. You will never accomplish anything, so don't get any ideas.
Please stop! You'll kill him!
You can forget all your baby ideas about everybody being special. People are not individuals. They are a collective. Remember that. All people are different, so of course
all people are different, so of course we're all special. Yeah, right. I never had any crappy ideas like that. I just want to get stronger. Strong enough to find out why the world is such a pile of crap. At least a little bit stronger than everybody, so I can get rid of anybody who tries to get in my way. What is happening to the world? Why is it such a pile of crap?
And then we're still here in the flashback. And young Joker has a watch in his hand.
This watch was left at the same place where I was found. It stopped at 3:32. Is that the time I was abandoned? This watch is the only one thing that keeps me tied to the world.
And then we have his squad leader, the same one that was beating him up, right behind him. That watch again. And he just takes it from Joker. You said this watch was a keepsake from your parents. And then he starts crushing the watch in his hands, and then he sets it on fire, much to Joker's frustration. Our only parent is the great sun god. You have no family. It looks like you need some more correction. Come to my room tonight. And I forgot about the implications about this. I forgot about the implications about this. And then Joker's looking very intensely at him. Oh Lord, I forgot about this. I forgot about this. I completely forgot about this part of the story. But we have Joker, and he's bound up by his arms, and he doesn't have a shirt on. And then we see like a riding crop in the hands of a squad leader who also doesn't have a shirt on. He's whipping Joker. I'm not done with you yet. Stand up. For the nation and the Holy Soul Temple to stay strong and beautiful, it needs people like us to be dirty.
I'll make you dirty inside and out.
I forgot about this part of the story. I forgot about this. I forgot about this. Maybe I pushed it out of my mind. Okay. I'm gonna continue. But then it cuts to another location where apparently a house is on fire. And we have the Holy Soul's shadow watching it. And one of them goes, "A demon infernal ran off with a baby named Sho Kusakabe. Find it and kill it." If anything, it's lucky he ended up becoming a vigilante anti-hero of sorts. Yeah. But apparently they were there when Shinra's house was on fire and his mother got turned into an infernal. "A demon infernal ran off with a baby named Sho Kusakabe. Find it and kill it." Commander, it's 5-2!
The Holy Soul's shadow is shaken up with that demon infernal on the loose. If I let this chance get away from me, I'll never be free. The sun gives its light to all people equally, right? Please, give me some too. Give me light.
And then it shows that Joker's eye is also burning too.
My eye. I bet Burns is also.
Burns as in, Captain Burns. And then it shows Joker outside of a place, no drawers, but he's got a shirt on, thankfully, with a woman going,
Dad, there's a boy outside about my age.
"Huh?" And it shows Joker eating some food.
Let me help you out somehow. To thank you.
Oh no, there's no need to thank us.
And then it shows Joker apparently who went out and who went grocery shopping, and he turns a corner, but he sees some well-dressed men exiting from the house that he's been staying at. And then he enters into the house, and the whole family that's cared for him have been murdered. They killed him. I forgot about this story as well. Oh my goodness! I feel like the one parts that stick out to me the most was probably during the beginning of the scene and up to the point where we found the tabernacle in the wastelands. But now we're getting into areas where it's just coming back to my mind. And not only that, it's sort of surprising me because I completely forgot about all this. The same family that cared for him, all three of them have been murdered. The father, the mother, and the daughter.
For the first time, I understood the situation I was in. No matter where I went, the light would never follow. 5-2 has already moved on.
Did you erase the family?
Yes.
Then this person takes off the mask, and this very same person giving these orders is the same squad leader that
violated him.
He left the collective. From now on, he's an individual. We will not let him return to the path of humanity. And then we see someone with a cigarette in his hands, and this is Joker. Later on in life, standing on a big on a building that's currently being constructed, looking out towards the city. This is such a Spider-Man thing to do, or Batman thing to do.
The world is a load of crap.
He said, he thinks to himself while he's smoking and smiling. But now we're back in the present. The flashback is over.
You made darn sure I learned that lesson. That's why I want to know the truth about the world.
And then we have a squad leader who takes out a sword that looks like it's like segmented, like cut apart. It's in segmented pieces out of a whole sheath.
Did you get lonely playing all by yourself, Pop?
And then Joker throws off his cloak, and he just got his regular clothes on that looks like they're crudely stitched in some places, and he makes flaming playing cards.
Eat crap.
As he prepares to fight. And that's the end of chapter 126. Onwards to chapter 127. Sparks of Battle. We will never let you see the light of the sun again.
I'll take the leader. You get the rest. What? We're not going half and half? Even just one of those guys is going to be a tough fight. Well, that does sound like a decent challenge.
And then the whole area is just filling up with smoke. And then the squad leader goes, "Yo, Ariane!" First of all, hello to you too. Just binged all of the FF live streams, and right as the last one ended, I saw that I was live. Lucky you. Yeah, welcome. We are reading Volume 15 of Fire Force. This is part of my ongoing series of reading the entire series. I have every volume, so for the next I want to say less than 20 days. Yes, for the next less than 20 days, I'm going to be reading every volume of Fire Force until I read every volume and we get to the end. Excluding Sundays, of course, but it'll be every day. But I'm happy to have you here. Hope you really enjoyed all my Final Fantasy content that I have here on the channel. But as that happens, the squad, as the whole area fills up with smoke, the squad leader goes, "Go!" And then one has a blade come out of his glove, like Assassin's Creed blade, but Benimaru just immediately chops him in the face. 19 days except for Sundays. Yeah, I was pretty spot on. Less than 20 days. But Benimaru just pops one dude in the face, and then he's just clashing with the rest of these soldiers because they all have blades coming out of their sleeves. Then one tries to stab Benimaru, but he just immediately flips him over, and Benimaru's gone, and he proceeds to kick the dude directly in the face. But this same soldier gets right back up again. I mean, Joker wasn't kidding. All of these individuals are just crazy strong.
That breathing, you're really serious. All of you are actually trying to kill me. But I'm just here for a fight.
And he starts using his powers and just throws back these soldiers with even greater force. And even though they get right back up again, Benimaru is not an individual who's easily overcome. And he immediately just starts using his own techniques against them, hand signs and all, and he's just launching everybody back. Every single time they get back up. And then another one gets knocked back, but before he can right himself, he gets blasted by Benimaru.
There, take that!
And he just starts launching fireballs all over, hitting every single one of these soldiers. I know I keep turning to the side, my apologies. One tries to appear right next to Benimaru, and he immediately, not only does he stop the dude from stabbing him, but he also breaks the dude's arm.
Now don't go whining over one little arm.
And as he's saying this, the dude does not stop. He still tries to swing his broken arm towards Benimaru in an attempt to still try and slice him.
Is killing me really all you can think about? EI Chop, Form 1, Kagets!
Fire Moon. And the whole area just erupts as he just swipes in front of him, and the whole place just goes up in one big explosion. And the rest of them just are steadily trying to get up, but not as quickly as they were before.
I guess you lot don't think much of your opponent's lives or your own.
And then we have Joker versus his former squad leader.
You haven't changed a bit.
And then his squad leader tries to slash at him with this sword.
Oh, of course you look the same. You're wearing a mask.
This fight in the anime was really cool. I gotta rewatch it again. I think the reason why I haven't rewatched Fire Force is because I want to wait until I am past the anime in terms of volumes, so that way I can just binge the anime again and then just watch all these fights all over again.
Oh, of course you look the same. You're wearing a mask.
You could have just kept cowering in your hiding place.
I wanted to play a game with somebody. Let me deal you in.
As Joker creates a whole deck of flame cards, and he starts throwing them at his squad leader, who turns out his sword is actually a whip sword, which easily deflects the flame cards, but also hits them enough where it actually causes his whip sword to ignite, and he starts slashing it at Joker, who's just easily dashing all of his moves, just over and over again. It's like a fiery Zabimaru, if you will, but not as big. And then Joker almost gets blasted back. He pretty much gets blasted back by this blast. I can't tell if it's him doing it or if it's his squad leader doing it. Hold on. Let me see. I think it's his squad leader doing it, and Joker gets launched backwards. Yeah, he does, because there's an impact mark on his chest here. He gets launched back while his squad leader draws his sword back.
I managed to dodge that zigzag sword, but the irregular patterns are messing up the airflow. When the blades shoot fire, I can't predict where it'll go.
You think the stupid mutt who ran away from training can beat me? And then he starts whipping his sword. The squad leader starts whipping his sword around over and over again until Joker gets engulfed in a whole bunch of flames. And then we see that his arm gets caught in the cord and blades of this whip sword that his former squad leader is using. Zigzag la Bamba Bomber! And Joker then gets, like, his whole body just explodes. It's kind of like the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. One of them has this big, giant cleaving blade that's covered in explosive tags. It's kind of like that, to a degree. But Joker gets hit by this explosion, and there's actually blood shown, and then he tries to get back up, but his squad leader puts his foot down on his head. I won't let it end that easily, Mutt. I will torture you until all of your cards have run out. Or would you like to drop out of the game already? As he's grinding Joker's head into the ground. But then, Joker starts moving despite his squad leader's foot being on his head, which surprises his leader. Former leader. I keep saying squad leader, but I should be saying former leader. But then it shows Joker's head kind of raised a little bit, and he's licking the floor before completely punching his former leader in the face and also breaking his mask, launching him backwards.
What makes you think this is a game, idiot? I didn't come here to play games. But you said, this is a fight to the death. Joker Smoker.
And it shows Joker glaring at his former leader. And that's the end of chapter 127. Onwards to the next one. And we have the appearance of a wolf on the first page. It doesn't say the title yet. Driven out of his pack, the lone wolf keeps his fangs sharp until he can take the head of the hated alpha. Chapter 128, The Collective and the Individual.
I will always be alone.
And it shows Joker putting another cigarette in his mouth as he stands up along with his former leader.
5-2. In 52 cards, I will take your life.
Joker pushed himself up using his tongue. He's not licking the ground. He is literally forcing his head back up from being pushed down by his former leader with his tongue. I should have known he wasn't licking it because there wasn't a slurp. There wasn't like a slurp sound effect, but it was like a muscle tensing sound effect. This man is lifting his own head up while it's being pushed down with his tongue. See, I knew the tongue was the strongest muscle in the body, but at the same time, good night. Okay. But yeah, that's exactly what he did. Thank you, Aryan. And please let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If I'm not, please instruct me on how to. It was clear in the anime? Yeah, it probably was. It probably was clear, because sometimes in manga, you got to be careful how you look at some panels, because sometimes some things can be happening that don't actually happen at all. Which is why I'm probably going to have to cross-reference me thinking that Joker got blasted away from his former leader's attack in the last chapter with what happens in the anime itself. But yeah, but also, please let me know if I'm saying your name right.
52. In 52 cards, I will take your life.
And his former leader is just staring at him with that dumb, blank glare. And they continue to clash with one another.
Go on, count. How many hands before your life is forfeit?
Yep, you got it right. Aryan, thank you. Glad I got it on the first try. And they're just fighting each other, clashing. Whip sword against 52. 52 pickup! Who remembers that special attack from Gambit in X-Men Legends? It was one of my favorites. But they're just clashing. Sword against cards. Over and over and over again. And then when it looks like one attack is about to hit Joker, and Joker is about to hit his former leader, both of their attacks keep extinguishing one another. In the collective, we have the power of unity. We may come apart, but we will always return to the whole.
an individual will merely be snuffed out. You're the one who should be counting 52. How many cards until your life runs out?
And they just continue to fight over and over and over. More clashes. And then we see another card being completely destroyed. Another flame card being destroyed by his former leader.
You lost another one, 5-2. Your deck is getting awfully thin.
Did I call him 52 again? Yeah, I did.
You're the one who should be counting 5-2.
It's 5-2, not 52. I keep getting mixed up with that.
You lost another one, 5-2. Your deck is getting awfully thin.
And then it shows more cards flying towards him.
You may think you gained freedom when you left the organization, but you are just a weakling who couldn't live as part of the collective. A loser will always be a loser. A sorry mutt who turned tail and ran from the collective can never win.
And there's just more fighting, and then Joker gets swept up in one attack. And he starts to get knocked around by his former leader. No more is it just a clash of them. It's more so Joker keeps getting hit by him.
I trained you. I know every secret you have up your sleeve.
Then Joker draws another card, but before he can even throw it, he gets hit by his former leader again.
How many cards do you have left?
2.
When you run out, I will finish you. How do you like knowing that your death is imminent?
And Joker is just standing there, smiling. And as he prepares his card, his leader slides through it. There's another explosion. Hold on. I don't understand why my own Stream Deck constantly needs to be reminded that you need to be connected to this one account at all times. That is so weird to me. But it's resolved. Let's continue. It just popped up. It was just something that popped up. We're all good. But he slashes through his card, and there's another explosion, and Joker's engulfed in it. Then Joker has one more card, but his former leader stabs into it while he's on the ground, and then it just sizzles out into flame. And Joker is thinking about the watch that his former squad leader destroyed back then.
That was your last card. Now I will kill you.
And then Joker's thinking about the torture that he endured because of the squad leader.
I will make you dirty inside and out.
And the time he got beat up by him, and then Joker starts whistling. And he starts humming to himself.
I am the Midnight Thinker. I am the Smoker. And the Joker.
And then his squad leader starts looking around because we get this one panel where he says, and the Joker, and it shows a face of a super grinning Harley Quinn surrounded by the words of ha over, like, you know, like that.
What makes you think I'm alone?
As clones of Joker start to appear all around his former leader. And then we cut back to Benimaru, who has pretty much beaten up everybody else.
The smoke from these leaves cause hallucinations. See, I have this new friend. He's good at making dangerous products. It doesn't work on my buddy here, so I didn't see a problem using it.
Because it shows that everyone who's fighting Benimaru is barely able to stand. And when he says these leaves, he's meaning the cigarettes he's been smoking this entire time.
How long was...
And before the squad leader can even say anything, his right arm, holding that same sword, gets chopped off. Just his whole hand just gets chopped off.
Gah!
What's wrong? Just put it back where it was. Even when you come apart, you always go back to the hole, right?
5-2. You...
I'm just not 52 cards anymore.
As he holds up the Joker card. And then it shows a crazed face of Joker, as we just see slashes go straight through his former leader. And it's not just like going across his body. No, it's going through them completely. Joker just dismembers this guy completely. There's even a panel where you see his body parts falling to the ground in a big old bloody splat. But of course, it's silhouetted, so you can't really see the grisliness. But I do see a couple of organs that are still, falling and plopping into one big pile.
I can't go using my trump card on a dumb mutt who's only good at running to his pack.
And then someone steps into frame.
Wouldn't you agree? I needed to beat you.
And as the person who steps into frame comes out of the darkness, the person that Joker is referring to is Captain Burns. As Captain Burns is down there! I remember this moment. I was thinking, so we've already consolidated ourselves to die. Oh, we're about to get royally messed up by Burns himself? Okay. But that's the end of the chapter. Onwards to chapter 129. Yeah, chapter 129, A Pair of One-Eyes. And we have Joker standing in front of Burns. And one thing to notice is how they each have eye patches over their eye, but it's on the opposite eyes. And Joker smiling, Burns has that ever-present serious look on his face.
So I guess I'm gonna have to beat you to get those scriptures after all. You were doing such a fine job of lying low. Why did you have to make a big production now? I just got sick of having the truth hidden from me.
And then Joker makes more flame cards as Burns just motions forward like, come on then. And then Benimaru walks into frame.
Let me in on this fight. It looks like fun.
As Benimaru and Joker stand against Burns.
Captain Shinmon. What's wrong? Weren't you going to bring it?
This is not the time to fight amongst ourselves. Let's hear what you have to say.
Hey! Don't get cold feet just because he's the toughest soldier on the force. And here I thought if any of the captains was going to be a decent challenge, it'd be you. But I hear there's somebody pretty vicious at Haijima.
If you're not going to fight, then what are you here for? You came here to find the secrets of the Holy Soul Temple, didn't you? I came to give you a clue.
The clue? I don't follow. You're the captain of Company 1. What are you doing here? Do you two know each other?
Burns was a liaison between the Holy Soul Temple's public and secret organizations. He always looked after me. So, in between the Holy Soul Temple and the place where Joker was being trained, Burns was always the person who spoke between them. He was literally the rendezvous person.
At least until we had that Adola link. Adola link? Shinra from Company 8 was saying something about that. There was a massive infernal outbreak at Amaterasu. An outbreak at Amaterasu? That's a big deal. Why haven't I heard about it?
Because of course you haven't. Amaterasu must always be safe. They couldn't let anything that says otherwise get around. That's exactly why they gave the job to us, the ones who do the dirty work. And then we're going back in time as we see a younger Burns, when he was in Company 1, and Joker, when he was still part of that collective, going, there's one left. The other shadows should have finished the rest. And the target is here.
There it is.
As they see an infernal in this area.
I'll get it.
As Joker is preparing to use that blade. And then, while we're looking at this infernal, it doesn't look like a normal human being. Normally, infernals have like a specific look about them. But this one has like an odd facial structure. And Burns knows something is off.
Wait, something's not right.
Not a problem, goes Joker as he runs in, but the whole area just gets enveloped in fire. And then, all of a sudden, this ear-piercing scream. Well, it's not even really fire, it's just a big concussive scream that pierces through this entire area, and both Burns and Joker get caught up in it. And then, all of a sudden, slashes appear over their opposite eyes. For Burns, it's his right eye, and for Joker, it's his left eye, almost as if slashes are going straight through them, and they're both screaming out in pain. And then we cut to later on. we cut to later on with Joker asking Burns,
What's it like in the outside world, Burns? People are still bursting into flames, aren't they? Well, there are still infernal outbreaks. Sounds like the world's just as crappy above ground as it is in the nether. The world is filled with grief. It needs the great sun god's salvation. But is clinging to a god and praying really enough to save anyone?
and Burns doesn't say anything.
No, I don't want to cling to anything. I'm not really looking for salvation. I want to see something more definite than that. All the ill will in the world, religion, the government, they manipulate the people's goodwill to their advantage, guiding the world into becoming into a better pile of crap. I want to know about the world. Why is it such a pile of crap? I want to see the truth.
And then we cut back to the moment where they have an Adola Link.
Adola Link.
And they're in this Adola Link world, and it's just shrouded in flames. And we have like these orbs just floating in the sky. Orbs floating in the sky that also have eyes coming out of them. And then we have the evangelists high up in the air.
Truth, higher plane, law, bugs, world, mathematics, hell, God.
God.
As the fire erupts from the eye of both Joker and Burns, and they're in immense pain because of this Adola Link.
5-2!
And then it shows the Infernal running towards Joker.
My eye!
But then Burns, using his own strength, kills the Infernal and completely extinguishes it before the Infernal can kill Joker.
Are you alright, 5-2? What were we hallucinating? What did we just see?
And then Joker's looking at his hand, and his hand is burning.
That was no hallucination. We were dragged into some other dimension. See? Look at this.
And he's holding a piece of the world he took. He actually brought a piece of the Adola world into the real world with him.
That world was real.
And then we go back to the present. Wow, I forgot. Out of everyone who's experienced the Adola Link thus far in the story, Joker's the only one to actually bring evidence of its existence. A flaming piece of rock from that ever-burning plane, from that ever-burning dimension. So we cut back to Joker.
You still have that rock? The one you brought back from Adola. Yes, I have it. It's still burning, even in a jar with no oxygen. There is a higher plane out there. We saw it. The Holy Soul Temple is hiding something big.
And Benimaru is quiet.
You want to know the truth, and I have a clue right here. Take a look at this.
And he hands a diary to them. And that's the end of chapter 129. Onwards to chapter 130, Concealed Truth.
What is it?
A diary kept by the wife of Raffles I, founder of the Holy Flame.
Founder of the Holy Flame.
I didn't give him enough deepness in that voice. My apologies.
His wife's diary. I'm here to find hidden scriptures. There's no such thing. How do you know? Because I've been investigating the Holy Soul Temple for a long time, just like you, since the day we had that Adola Link. That world made me question everything I knew. I wanted to stop feeling like the pieces didn't fit. I wanted to learn the truth, so I started investigating.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. And I gotta read that again, because it threw me off. Now to...
There we go. That world made me question everything I knew. I wanted to stop feeling like the pieces didn't fit. I wanted to learn the truth, so I started investigating. And that investigation led me to this little book. I've been using my position as captain of Company 1 to investigate in every way I can. But I couldn't find anything inside the church that was connected to the Holy Soul Temple's past. I was investigating the various forgotten nether tunnels across the Empire when I happened to find this relic. And you say it belonged to the wife of Raffles the First?
The diary is her record of events from the day of the Great Cataclysm until the Holy Soul Temple and the Empire were established. It includes detailed information on the temple's founder, Raffles the First himself. Her account of the Tokyo Empire's origins is the same as what we were taught in the Holy Scriptures. She writes that a caravan led by Raffles the First discovered the Adola Burst at the end of a long journey, and with it they built Amaterasu, the core of the empire.
So you're saying the scriptures are true, and the church isn't hiding anything? You gotta be kidding me.
That's not what caught my attention. The important thing is what Raffles' wife observed in him at the time.
When Raffles came back, the entire caravan had been destroyed, but I'm just happy that he made it back to me. Still, he's been a different man since he came home.
Nothing about his appearance has changed, but his habits and mannerisms seem like they belong to someone else. I simply can't believe he's the same man I was married to for 30 years.
Even assuming his experience was that traumatic, would it change him so much that his mannerisms were different? I feel like I've heard all this before. There was a punk in Asakusa who could change people to make them look exactly like someone else. But that was recent. This happened 250 years ago.
Infernals don't die natural deaths. It's possible that whoever it wasn't human and came from the higher plane, like the evangelists.
Like a certain evangelist person that we know that is capable of changing faces. Like Yona.
It may be that the Holy Soul Temple was established by some inhuman being disguised as Raffles.
All the more reason this religion needs to be stamped out. Wait a minute. First of all, how do we know we can trust this diary?
Regardless of its beginnings, the Holy Soul Temple does give people emotional support. Destroying it would cause chaos.
The caravan was wiped out, and Raffles the First was a changed man. Assuming Burns is right and what's in this diary is true, do the people running the Holy Soul Temple now know anything about it?
I doubt Raffles III knows any of this. No one knows what really happened 250 years ago.
But we have this man, this bald man who looks like Raffles, but we're now inside this completely different location now. Oh no, I thought it was a statue. It's actually a person. And we have Inca.
What? Yona?
And as Inca's looking at apparently Yona, who's changed his face, we have Charon and Haumia as she goes,
You created the Holy Soul Temple? Disguised as Raffles the First?
hey, that's actually confirmation. I was just making a reference. Because Benimaru made a reference to Yona. But now, it's true? I forgot about this. But Yona, looking like Raffles the First, changes back to his regular face going, That's right. When the scriptures talk about Raffles the First, they're talking about me. The Holy Soul Temple is my religion. I created it under orders from the evangelists, all to manipulate human will to our advantage and lead them closer to Adola. All according to the evangelist's will. And then we were back with Burns, Benimaru, and Joker.
It's possible that the Holy Soul Temple was not created by humans.
Ah, there's the deepness I was looking for. It felt like it was kind of scraggly and I wasn't giving it my all.
It's possible that the Holy Soul Temple was not created by humans. But Raffles III and the people running the Holy Soul Temple now don't know the truth.
So if you're saying if we want to find the evangelists, snooping around the Holy Soul Temple isn't going to turn up any more leads.
I'll clean up the mess you made here. I'd heard the rumors about Company 7's captain, but you're even more ferocious than they say.
I don't know how you meant that, but in Asakusa, that's a compliment.
Fortunately, the damage was kept to a minimum. Thanks for pulling your punches. They've always lived in the shadows, and there's only one casualty. I think we can handle this internally.
seeing how the only person who died during this whole scuffle is the former squad leader of Joker. Good. He deserved to die, especially for what he did to Joker in his younger days.
But what are you going to do now? Like your other eye, the truth is lost in the darkness. The truth is lost in the dark. I only need one eye to see the truth. Let's go, Mr. Toughest. We still have plenty of things to look into. Then you've decided where to start your search? Yeah, Haijima Industries. The Holy Soul Temple worked with them to build Amaterasu. They may be connected to the Evangelists, and they might know who Raffles the First really was. But even if you manage to get into Haijima, they have facilities all over the Empire. There's no way of knowing which one to search. I'll just have to start with one and check 'em all. Haijima, eh? I owe them for Conroe's medicine. I can't go busting them down. They're connected to the Holy Soul Temple, too. You didn't think they might stop giving you medicine after what we did today? Never crossed my mind. I'll handle that, too. In exchange, I want you to check them out for me. Because of my position, I can't make any moves against Haijima myself.
Then we cut to Haijima Industries, and we have some scientists just speaking inside of their break room. I remember sitting in a break room. Only one of them was actually done up in a very good way. Well, actually, two of them were done up in a very good way. Harris's Teeter's break room was horrible. None of our recent rigs have given us any decent results. You said it. This is a total waste of time. Don't you have that one kid in your group that's rated S in every field? I wish I could trade places with you. That does sound nice. My rigs aren't even good enough for the scrap heap. And I think I know where's this rig which rig you're talking about. That boy, right?
Right. The boy Rekka Hoshimiya awakened with his bug. Nataku's son.
The same kid that, was the only one to awaken to Adola because of Rekka many volumes ago. But that's the end of chapter 130. Onwards to 131, Seeker. We're almost done with this volume, everybody. Special Fire Cathedral 8. And we got Shinra.
I'm so tired. I didn't sleep so good last night. The Amaterasu we found in the Chinese peninsula was powered by a human being.
Good morning.
Good morning,
He says to Iris.
but we can't tell anybody about it.
Sup?
Hey, Vulcan.
Off to breakfast, right? My newest invention is in the kitchen. You should try it out.
New invention?
You'll know when you see it. Tell me what you think after you use it.
Huh? I wonder what he invented.
And then he goes into the kitchen, and as he looks, he sees Lisa. And then the same way he was poking her, thinking that she was just an automaton, he goes,
This is his new invention? Hot darn, these things are lifelike. He wants me to try it out, but what am I supposed to do with it?
and he's just like poking her in the chest because he thinks she's not real.
Hot darn, hot darn.
This is the new invention! Blender! This is the new invention!
Blender!
As Lisa, understandably, smashes him over the head with the blender.
Huh? The real Lisa? What are you doing here?
They decided to put me in Company 8 while I recuperate.
Oh, okay. Well, we're happy to have you, Lisa.
And Lisa doesn't say anything.
But I work for the Evangelists. I'm one of the Knights of the Ashen Flame. I might betray you again.
Stay in Company 8 and you won't have to.
I'm not exactly a fan of you right now, though.
As she, covers herself up.
Anyway, I'll be seeing a lot of you for a while. Cheers!
And then she just leaves. Then we have Shinra again.
Welcome to Company 8.
And then Iris.
What? What? Is this Vulcan's new invention? There's a button here. What does it do?
As Iris is, poking Lisa's chest as well, because she thinks Lisa is the new invention.
You people.
And then we see the blender, which is, another animal motif, and it's in the shape of a chameleon. gotta say, Vulcan's affinity for making animal-based machinery that is also incredibly functional, it's kind of cool when you think about it. And then Captain Obi. In honor of Lisa Isaribe's release from the hospital. Hold on. In honor of Lisa Isaribe. Well, that's the reason why it's throwing me off, because I think I'm repeating myself. In honor of Lisa Isaribe-kun's release from the hospital, a protein smoothie toast. And then we have Vulcan going, do you need me to make some mecha memories for you? And then Shinra spits out his drink as he goes, Shinra goes,
Hey, somebody get me a tissue!
and then Lisa goes, stop making a mess. Then we have Kanro, who's also at Company 8.
I like this. It's not too sweet. Do you think I could make it at Company 7? I bet Waka would like it.
All you have to do is toss in ingredients. Anyone can do it.
Lieutenant Conroe, what brings you here so early in the morning?
Lieutenant Conroe is here to report on Captain Benimaru's investigation of the Holy Soul Temple.
Although it wasn't an investigation so much as he just went to bust some heads at the temple's curia.
Bust heads!
He went with a suspicious character who goes by the name Joker.
Captain Shinmon and Joker? Again? Why?
Then time passes, and then Maki and Hinawa chime in.
The Diary of the Wife of Raffles the First?
And the Raffles Eye who started, and the Raffles Eye, and Roman numerals. And the Raffles the First who started the Holy Soul Temple is an imposter.
But no one in the temple now knows about any of this?
Which means there's no point in investigating the Holy Soul Temple anymore.
But the jury's still out on how much of the information we can trust.
May I say something?
Goes Lisa.
Not that you would believe anything I have to say, but as someone who worked with the evangelists, I didn't see any sign that we were connected to the Holy Soul Temple. And
then Lisa suddenly starts to think about Giovanni and she immediately gets traumatic shivers.
Thanks for telling us. You don't have to push yourself. Let's go somewhere else for now.
As Vulcan leads her away.
I'm gonna take her to get some rest.
Thanks. Dr. Giovanni was with Hajima. I think they're more likely to have ties with the evangelists. Then Hinawa.
But it's not going to be easy to investigate Hajima.
Then Arthur. What do you mean? We just have to go over there and bust some heads like Benimaru did, right?
Go over there? Over where, stupid? You're such a knight. Drop dead.
Weren't you listening? Go over to Hajima, obviously. You drop dead.
And then we have Obi. Hajima isn't just one building. It's a massive conglomerate with feelers in almost every industry in the Tokyo Empire. It's made up of several corporations, including the main body and its subsidiaries, which are merged together and complement each other and play a central role in any enterprise you can think of. Take the fashion industry, for example. Hajima is involved in everything from materials to design, even construction, and they control the entire food market, from supplying ingredients to cooking appliances and restaurants. Approximately 70% of the country's population works for a company that's related to Hajima, which is scary when you think about it. When an entire country's entire industry has 70% that's controlled by one entire corporation, there's so many things that can be done with that much power. Imagine if Disney had that much power, controlling 70% of America's entire corporations, from food to clothing and everything in between. They could do anything. Mind you, they do a whole bunch of stuff now. It's just under wraps because, you know, the richer you are, the more you can hide stuff. But imagine if Disney had that much reach in the world. Approximately 70% of the country's population works for a company that's related to Hajima, with the other 30% being everything else that isn't owned by them. Then Maki.
even the Special Fire Force is ostensibly connected to Hajima.
Does that make me a suspect too? And Arthur, being stupid, says something like that. Hey, it's Sony and anime streaming services all over again. Yep. The massive scale of Hajima as an entity makes it impossible to pin down. I don't even know where we start our investigation.
Who do we know who's familiar with the inner workings of Hajima? Huh! Inspector Licht! I know Sister Iris and Tamaki are doing an ablution. Come to think of it, where is Inspector Licht?
As a matter of fact, he's at Hajima. They called him in to talk about his report on the Chinese peninsula. Then we go to the Haijima Group Paper Company building. And we have Licht in a hallway. And we have the all-familiar legs of Captain Hibana.
No, Captain Ibana, hello. I read your report on the Chinese peninsula. You didn't need to mention Amaterasu's energy source and Haijima's power development project too, did you?
That's exactly what the CEO called me in to discuss. Where does he spend most of his time? It's a mystery.
They're going to get rid of you. I thought you were one of Haijima's dogs, but now you're biting the hand that feeds you. What are you after?
And then Lick just smiles back at him. Back at her. Then we cut to the sign of the CEO. The sign of the CEO's office. And your boy is just playing a Game Boy. I applaud the CEO for him being the head of this place. And he's just casually spending his shift, spending his time just playing on a Game Boy. What a life. You're in one of the most highest paying industries in the entire country, and you get paid to do whatever you're doing, but you spend most of your time just playing a Game Boy. I like him. So, about your report on the Chinese peninsula. Haijima Industries CEO, Guryo Haijima. I thought your job was to spy on Special Fire Force Company 8. Yes, sir, and to observe Shinraku Sakabe while I'm there. So, and then we have another person who's there. They literally implanted this man to spy on Company 8. So, a power plant you found on the Chinese peninsula used a human with an Adola burst as fuel. But it's a bit much to assume the same is true of the Empire's Amaterasu, don't you think? And then you go so far as to connect this fuel to our company's humanitarian project of developing orphans' ignition powers. Inconceivable. You don't like the CEO? Well, let me be more specific about him. I like the fact that he gets to play games while he works. That's about the only thing. But, you know, Haijima's still bad, though. So let me correct what I said earlier, and let me not make it seem like I like the CEO just because he's playing video games, but I like the fact that he can play video games. But he as an individual, the fact that he's not only the CEO of Haijima, but he also implanted Licht into Company 8 so they could spy on him, yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him as an individual. As a gamer, I can understand the need to play games when it's time to do stuff important. I can understand. But him as an individual, I already don't like him. Then you go so far as to connect this fuel to our company's humanitarian project of developing orphans' ignition powers. Inconceivable. You like that? You just meant his design? Because he looks so basic and normal, he's creepy and dead looking? What would you that seems like the most normal look for a person who's so high up. Because it's always the people who have the most unassuming appearances that tend to be CEOs with a lot of corporations and such, right? For a lot of companies, it's either like these old dudes with dead faces or young dudes with creepy faces. Very few people look normal when they're running a whole company.
Never mind that, though. I called you here today because I have a job for you to do. Bring Shinraku Sakabe to our laboratory.
And that's the last page of chapter 131? Yeah. Now we start chapter 132. Well, if you'll excuse me. And Licht leaves. I don't like most people high up either, so it's fitting, I suppose. Yeah. And then the CEO speaks with his men in the room.
Now then, about Victor Licht. As soon as he brings us Shinraku Sakabe, I say we kill him.
Chapter 132, Trust and Truth.
He's too curious for his own good. We're safer without him. Fortunately, he's non-powered. We can tell everyone that he spontaneously combusted. And it should be easy to cover it up if we make sure it happens on company property.
And then it shows people sweeping. It shows people sweeping in near Company 8. Yeah, it's Arthur and Shinra who are sweeping. The fact that the CEO says, like, yeah, he's getting too curious. We need to kill him. And if we kill him while he's here, then it'll be easier to cover up. And we'll just say he spontaneously combusted. So that's, I mean, yeah. Yeah, the only thing I like about the CEO is the fact that he's got a Game Boy. But Vulcan, at Cathedral 8, I was trying to make a really good description. You'll have to forgive me. Lisa, bring me that measuring device.
You got it. You're making something else for us? Here.
Thanks. Yeah, there's no telling when the evangelist's cronies might come after us again. That's enough for today, Lisa. Good work.
Okay, call me if you need anything.
And then Lisa just goes back in the building.
I've had it up to here with Hajima and their bullying. Dr. Giovanni's with Hajima, and he hurt Lisa. I'll never forgive them.
Yeah, let's make them pay.
Shinra, you lived at a Hajima facility before you came to the academy. You might be a spy.
Yeah, maybe I am. I'd happily be a spy if it meant I could assassinate you.
I knew you were a spy! Come and get me! As Arthur... this boy, sometimes I wonder how this man ties his shoes. Does he just remember that, hey, knights tie their shoes in the morning and that's how he remembers?
Ah, you already came to me!
You think you can beat the Night King in a contest of swordsmanship? And while Arthur hits Shinra in the face with his broom, Shinra kicks him in the chest.
You actually hit me! You hit me first!
And then Vulcan hits a button, which launches a gorilla head and a sheep head at both Shinra and Arthur and knocks them both down.
Shinra, I didn't know you were at Hajima.
Yeah, well, it was after that fire 12 years ago that awakened my powers. There was a while when I couldn't control them very well, so I was at Hajima. They experimented on me at their power development center. I'll never forget how cold it felt. To the facility, the children were just guinea pigs. There wasn't an ounce of kindness in the whole place.
And while he's saying this,
I wasn't exactly deprived, but it wasn't really comfortable either.
as he's saying this, Licht is directly behind him. You know, an employee of Hajima. Shinra!
Inspector Licht!
I have a bit of an important matter to discuss, so I'd like to call a meeting. See you there! As Licht goes in the building. And then everyone is there. Everyone is there to listen in. As Captain Obi is there to prepare to listen to what Licht has to say.
So, what's this important matter?
There isn't an easy way to say this. There isn't any easy way to say this, so I'll just come out and say it. I, Victor Licht, am a spy for Hajima. And no one acts surprised. No one is surprised except for Iris, who has her hand up. Look, goes like, and, you know, Shinra is unfazed. Captain Obi is unfazed. I expected a bigger reaction. And then Captain Obi's all like, yeah, we knew. All that buildup, and Obi's all like, yeah, we knew already. I mean, even we knew that Licht was sent in as a spy. But him just coming out to say it as if everyone was surprised? So, why are we going over this now? You were always with Hajima. You never really belonged to Company 8. That's true.
What? Licht-san isn't one of us? That's okay, you just keep being you, Sister Iris. Yeah.
Well, that'll speed this up. The main reason I came to your company was to observe Shinra-kun and his Adola Burst. Hajima's looking for the next wielder of an Adola Burst, and so we've been spying on Shinra.
But Shinra came from Hajima, didn't he? If they want the Adola Burst so badly, I'm surprised they let him go.
Exactly. That is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. After Shinra's home burnt down, he was taken into custody at Hajima's power development facility.
That's right. I left for the Fire Academy when I was 13, so I was there from when I was 5 until I was 12 years old.
But the researchers never found an Adola Burst in Shinra's flames while he was living at Hajima. Heh, weakling.
What's so funny? You're not allowed to laugh.
And that's where the problem started. When they learned about their mistake involving Shinra, the facility ramped up the intensity of their experiments to the point where kids are getting hurt.
Huh?
Some of them were hurt so badly that they will never recover. And it all started when they let Shinra get away.
No, It's my fault.
And now they've finally ordered me to bring Shinra back.
You know we can't sell out one of our soldiers.
Goes, Hinawa.
It would be dangerous. They're clearly after Shinra's Adolabers. Still, I think this is our chance to investigate Haijima. Employees of Haijima, myself included, don't know the details about the power development facility. If we take advantage of this opportunity, we might find the connection between the facility and the evangelists.
But you're a Haijima spy. We can't just trust you.
And this is Vulcan.
Wait, Vulcan. If what Inspector Licht says is true, we can't just leave those kids at Haijima to suffer. Captain, I'm not worried about me. What kind of a hero would I be if I couldn't help children?
Don't be hasty, Shinra.
Goes Maki.
We can't tell the world about Amaterasu for 3 years. And while we're waiting, the evangelist is just going to keep going forward with her plan. We don't have any time to waste. And Sho is still...
Inspector Licht, you still haven't answered the most important question. Whose side are you on? Company 8 or Haijima?
Well, both, of course.
Ah!
I worked at Haijima because there I can research the truth. Now I'm pro Company 8 because it looks like I'm going to get closer to the truth by sticking with you.
Didn't we see Nutaku in the last chapter? Yeah, we did. We did. Which means that he's one of the children who's being experimented on, all because they let Shinra go. Experimentation on children have ramped up considerably more than when Shinra was there. All because Shinra is gone.
Now I'm pro Company 8 because it looks like I'm going to get closer to the truth by sticking with you.
Seems to me like you're not actually on either side.
You're very perceptive.
Shinra, I can't let you go to Haijima alone. It's too dangerous. I'm sending the whole company to investigate Haijima.
Yes, sir!
This is the beginning of Operation Investigate Haijima Industries. Yes, sir! And everyone says yes, sir. Then we cut back to the facility.
Nataku-kun, we're going to start the combat test.
Kurono. Kurono-san, are you ready?
Nataku-kun, are you ready to fight your Uncle Death? Are you ready to fight your Uncle Death?
Yes, sir.
And that's the end of chapter 132, to be continued in volume 16. We got some translator notes, so let's go through that. I'll say my final words, and then I'll call it a reading session for today. Translation notes. Pitter Patter, page 34. Here, Joker is singing a song to himself, comparing the priests at the Holy Soul Temple to raindrops. The original Japanese version seemed to be based on a song called Amefuri, Rainfall, about a child who goes out in the rain with his mother and has fun splashing around. To recreate the singing effect, the translators have rewritten the lyrics to the rainy day children's song Pitter Patter Pitter Patter. A more literal translation would be, Tonsured guys fall nonstop like rain. Followers of the Holy Soul Temple fall nonstop like rain. It's so much fun to barge into someone's house and bust heads. Zigzag La Bamba Bomber, page 82. If the reader has guessed that this is not a direct translation of the Japanese attack name, the reader is half correct. The original name, Jabara Banba Rabamba, which translates roughly to Serpentine 10,000 Blade Flurry of 10,000 Blades. Jabara, meaning serpentine or zigzag, refers to the type of sword being used, and the character for flurry, read as Ra, is usually read as Ran. The change, plus the repetition of 10,000 blades, indicates that the reference of La Bamba was indeed intentional. The meaning of La Bamba is unknown, but translators do not want to lose the reference, and so it became Zigzag La Bamba Bomber. The Joker, page 100, all the way to 100 and 101. The three phrases the Joker utters are likely a reference to the song The Joker by Steve Miller Band. However, the lyrics of the chorus have been reversed and changed slightly, with this Joker being a midnight thinker rather than a toker. Adololink, page 120. Normally, the term Adololink is written in phonic characters that give us the pronunciation of the word but no added meaning. Here, for the first time, the characters are written alongside kanji characters that represent concepts as well as sound. The words given here are koe teki chikaku, which means heightened perception. Rigs, page 144. This is a rendering of the Japanese word sotai, meaning natural body, which is a word in model making to refer to a featureless human figure used as a base. The sculptor will add muscles, clothes, etc. to the sotai to create a detailed statue. Because this term is also used in 3D animation, the translators have used the English 3D animation word rig, which is basically the skeleton of the animated person or object. Lisa Isaribe-kun, page 153. While many manga readers are aware that the suffix kun is often attached to the name of male associates to indicate a respectful degree of closeness, it is less commonly used that the suffix is also used by superiors to refer to subordinates of any gender. And then lastly, bansan. Page 181, which is the words written over the front of Lieutenant Hinawa's hat. Because there are no kanji to give us a clear meaning of this word, and there is absolutely no context, there are a couple of possibilities in regard to what the lieutenant's hat is referring to. The more reasonable option is that it means dinner or supper, and is the word used in the Japanese term for the Last Supper. However, the word can also mean late birth, referring to either a baby being born after its due date or a woman giving birth late in life. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Volume 15. Join me tomorrow as we pick up with Volume 16, as we grow closer and closer to where the last season of Fire Force ended, and then we're going to be moving into unseen territory for those of us who have not read Fire Force all the way through. So all in all, I am looking forward to it. We only got, 2 weeks? I want to say 2 weeks left of December, so let's make it a beautiful one, because January is going to be fun, with One Piece releasing their next DLC, and also Kill the Justice League for us Deluxe Edition owners. We'll be able to play that game 3 days earlier than February, so my playthrough for Kill the Justice League will start next month, pretty much near the end of next month. So I'm looking forward to that, and then February is going to be even more fun with Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and anything else that releases going forward from there, including Dragon's Dogma, and then later on Black Myth Wukong. A lot of things that I got in the works, and I'm looking forward to it. All I can say to everyone here is just thank you for your continued support of this channel. Seriously, your everything you do for me for this channel allows me to continue on, and because, I mean, I wouldn't be able to fully pursue this. I wouldn't be able to fully pursue this whole career I have had it not been for the support of all of you and everything that you do for me. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. But I'm done for today, ladies and gentlemen. Halster, we should reach Volume 20 by Saturday, so next week it'll be all new Fire Force. Exactly. Looking forward to it. But to everyone here, all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, even become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!